All right, and welcome back to the forecast card. Wanted to mix it up a little bit. I'll admit I've been a little bit uninspired from baseball lately. Just super high variance when it comes to, I guess, modeling the sport. Seems like maybe just betting on value underdogs is the play right now, especially while certain teams are being overvalued, undervalued. But I'm going to take a little bit of a step back and kind of just focus on home runs for a little bit. Now that spring's kind of coming around, summer's just around the corner. Definitely some good weather for some home runs in some of these states and some of these provinces. So, looking right away, if you are interested in betting sides, I do keep my spreadsheet updated every single day. You can kind of get an idea. Brewers or just one stars in general. These are just like slight leans. Typically more of a value side. In a 50-50, I typically would lean on the underdog. Two stars, typically a bit of a lean. I guess a bit of an edge. These would be, quarter unit plays for me if we're betting every game. And then three stars, these are games where I think there's a significant edge and the price is fair. So in this case, Jays money line, Reds on the run line, under 8 in the Pirates Mets game, over 8.5 in the Nats Braves game, and under 8.5 in the Dodgers Athletics game. But yeah, let's go into home runs. Again, kind of gonna just free ball this, no edits, just kind of me talking through, how I typically look for certain people to get home runs. So to start us off, I usually always start on park factors. I do think weather is one of the most important factors, especially when it comes to pressure and humidity for home runs, which immediately, gives me a two right away. We got Comerica Park. Again, wind's blowing in a little bit. Oh, sorry, not this one. Citizens Bank Park. Solid humidity. We got Citizens Bank Park again. Again, it's a doubleheader. Great American Ballpark. Weather's blowing in again, but we got good humidity and good pressure. So to start us off, I'm just going to look at this first game here. Game one of the doubleheader. We got the Cardinals at the Phillies. Obviously, looks like left field will have significant edge, somewhat in right field as well. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily target a specific righty or lefty hitter in this matchup. Obviously right left field is going to be more advantageous, but we do know that Phillies, they do have some guys here that can hit some home runs, but most of them are lefties. So right away, we got Eric Fetty and Jesus Luzardo. As far as I know, two pitchers that don't really give up a ton of home runs. So what I'll typically like to do in these kind of games is just look at who are the people that are hitting home, giving up the most home runs. So this is versus right-handed hitters. We're not going to look at that. We're going to look at 2025. I'm just seeing general Luzardo, maybe a little bit more than others. I guess that was last year. Sorry. Try this again. Luzardo, yeah, not much at all this year. 47 innings pitched, has barely given up any home runs in general. And then we got Fetty, who is definitely a little bit more on the home run side. Not a lot. Again, two pitchers that don't give up a ton of home runs. So right away, definitely going to be on the Philly side here. I'm looking at a game. Sometimes if I can't find a specific edge, I'll look at these head-to-head matchups. So right away we can see that Bryce Harper has gotten 6 home runs off of Eric Fetty, which is kind of insane. Kind of scroll down. We got Kyle Schwarber. He has 1 home run in 9 pitching plate appearances, 3 hits, 1 base, a double, only 1 home run. So still pretty solid, especially considering how hot he's been. But again, 22 at bats, 6 home runs is a pretty crazy ratio. Slugging at 1.364, so that might be a solid look here, especially for someone that has to be too hot. Then I'll kind of look at Statcast. This kind of gives you a bit more information on hit quality. So let's go to statistics, player pitching. I want to see which one of these two pitchers are getting barreled the most. So again, we got Fetty, Luzardo. Again, so big lean on Fetty. Look at hard hit. Definitely still Fetty. Adjusted exit velocity. Still Fetty. So definitely going to be a Fetty side. Looking on the Philly side. Look at Statcast here. We can look at barrels per. We want to look at batters. So right away, you got Kyle Schwarber way up there. Harper isn't doing phenomenal this year. Still decent. 70th in baseball, but not amazing. Obviously, this is last year. If we look at this year, again, Kyle Schwarber is still going to be probably somewhere near the top if I had to guess. top 41. Where's Harper? Yeah, it's definitely fallen off a little bit. Sometimes I like to go into player batting. This can give you an idea of hard hitting. Again, you'd expect Kyle Schwarber to be here. Bryce Harper, still pretty good. Barrel, if you're not familiar, Barrel is just hitting it in an optimal spot on the bat. We got Harper, we got Schwarber. Definitely a big advantage there. And this is sweet spot. This is typically, again, this doesn't necessarily mean, again, sweet spot, if you look at the actual description, it just means you're hitting it between 10 and 35, which isn't necessarily good for home runs. It just means you're getting good contact with the ball. So I don't really like to look at that too much. And then exit velocity, obviously Schwarber's going to be up there, Harper as well. So right away, for me, it's between Harper and Schwarber. You can kind of look at their spray. So it's like a Bryce Harper spray. This will give you an idea. When he does hit home runs, where are they hitting them? So he's getting quite a few here. Looks like a lot of deep in left field. So not bad hitting, I guess, where you'd kind of want to see them being hit. Again, Fetty is a righty, so you could assume that lefties would want it more. So then you can go here. This is a home run per fastball. And I like to see looking at a left hitter versus a right-handed pitcher. We're going to move that to this year. And then we're going to look for Philly. So again, Kyle Schwarber still way at the top. I'm assuming Harper is going to be way down. 20%, not bad. I think I'm just going to have to go with Bryce Harper for this game. 2024, 2023, pretty significant this year. Schwarber's at the top as usual. Let's see where because Harper's really been kind of mid this year. Yeah, only 8%. So actually quite bad this year. But he's kind of due. Going to be seeing a pitcher that he's kind of loves to see. Let's see. Phillies. We got wind blowing right to left in this game. And you can kind of get an idea here. When wind is blowing right to left, home runs right to left. So definitely more home runs when the wind is blowing here. Again, this kind of helping typically right-handed batters, which we can kind of see already with the way that this is going. Which to me, I don't hate taking someone right here. Again, Nick Castellanos is really the only righty that hits a ton of home runs. Trey Turner's been kind of mid this year. Again, sometimes what I like to do, if I'm not sold on someone, I'll go to batter pitcher matchups. So here we can kind of see who is getting the biggest change versus typical in the home run department. Search for Philly. Right away we see Nick Castellanos is way up there. Kyle Schwarber as well, with a really good matchup. Again, home run. Schwarber loves the sinker, changeup. He's got a lot of hit pitches that he can hit. Really bad matchup. And you can see here, it seems to be a lot of it comes to both walks and home runs. Seems to be a bit more of the advantage. Then you can look into Nick Castellanos. We can look at Bryce Harper here, who actually is quite much higher than Schwarber is, which does give me some confidence. Again, home run is way up, 2.5. Ooh, he loves the sinker and the cutter, which is his two major pitches, which makes sense. We're going to go with Bryce Harper here. So once I figure out who I like, that home run, I have to go to FanDuel to hit a home run parlay builder. Obviously, I'll do this on my phone later, but we got plus 430 for Bryce Harper. Again, Schwarber is honestly not significantly better odds. So we're going to go down here. We're going to find Philly, game 1, Bryce Harper, plus 430. Confidence or home runs is always just a 1-star because of the odds, obviously. It's hard it won't fit the model. If it's no way it's as confident as a minus 110. And then runner-up, we're going to go Kyle Schwarber here. And obviously this will be a 1-star, plus 400. Sometimes I'll bet 2 in one game. Maybe I will in this case, because the odds are pretty good considering. But yeah, Bryce Harper, solid matchup. That'll be our number 1. for today. Next, let's go on to the next game. So park factors. There's quite a few decent games here for runs. So I do sometimes just like to look at who is pitching. So sometimes what I'll do, let me close all that, is I like to kind of look at just specific, specific matchups, right? So I'll pull up just this Fangraphs home runs per 9 on the season. And just kind of look for any of these pitchers that are pitching today. Like, do we have Morton pitching today? No. We have Bowden Francis. No. Honestly, like, if you know who's pitching, it's much easier to scan this and be like, okay, that's someone who I know is pitching today. Carrasco, no. Wesneski, no. Flaherty, maybe? No. We got Jordan Hicks, I know, has been getting a ton of home runs lately. Bryce Elder for sure is pitching today. So we go to Bryce Elder, we got Nationals, Atlanta, we got Nationals versus Braves. So let's look at that game. Okay, decent weather, decent pressure. Again, you see this right away, you think, okay, left field, not ideal. It's still better than usual, but definitely going to be more of a lefty advantage here with the wind blowing right to left. So let's look at that. We're going to look at Nationals versus right-handed pitchers. So we're going to look at, obviously, Bryce Elder. What is he giving up home runs to? So we know he's 1.9, but is that more to righties or more to lefties? So we look at lefties right away. We don't see him here at the very top, all the way down. So you'd assume that he's going to be near the top of the righties here. 2.1. Okay, so he gives up, honestly, a pretty equal amount to both lefties versus righties. So now we're just going to look at someone with a really phenomenal matchup against him. So right away, we're going to look for Washington. At the top, who we see in here? We got Jose Sina, not someone we're looking at. Gabriel Ruiz, no. Nathaniel Lau, okay. He's someone that does often hit home runs. Again, right away, I'm seeing, okay, so these actually aren't significant advantages, but we're going to keep looking into it. Again, we have versus right-handed hitters. So we're going to just look here, home runs versus righties. Right away, we see James Wood at the very top this season. We got Nathaniel Lau as well, who we did see much higher up on that chart. Obviously, when we looked at the weather in this game, we definitely were looking for a lefty. So both James Wood and Nathaniel Lau are both great options here. Now we're going to look a bit more into it, obviously. So we got Bryce Elder, and we got... So we're going to matchups here. We're just going to go to the Braves game. Home runs. Okay, so we have Lau, Abrams, James Wood way down here. He's actually negative in home runs, so you'd assume maybe he's just a really bad matchup here with the type of throws that he throws. Yeah, there's just not a lot of data, and I think it seems like this is something he loves. James Wood seems to get all of his home runs probably off the four seam. It's not really a pitch that Bryce Elder throws a ton of, so right away we think, okay, maybe Nathaniel Lau has a better matchup. And right away we see he throws a ton of sinkers, and Nathaniel Lau loves the sinker. So right away, I think I'm going to go with Nathaniel Lau here. Decent home run per fly ball rate, still within the top 10. Let's see, Nationals. Obviously, James Wood is way up there, but it's still on Nathaniel Lau, which means every 23 plate appearances or at bats, he hits a home run, which is pretty good, all things considered. Okay, so let's see if there are any history between these two pitchers. Sorry, we got Lau, Bryce Elder. Again, only 2 pitches, 2 at bats, no strikeouts. These must be fly balls, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, we got Josh Bell up here, 1 home run and 12 at bats. Might be a look. Again, how is he in terms of the matchups? I'm not sure. Let's go to Braves game again. Josh Bell. Honestly, not bad. Up there as well. He likes the sinker. Again, he seems to be a guy that does like the fastball a little bit too much. Home run is not crazy. I'll put him as my runner-up, but we're gonna go with Nathaniel Lau for this game. So he's not even gonna be a top 10 or a top 6 in this game. Again, I don't really love to just look at the odds. Obviously, I'm just trying to find value, and I kind of like it when the guy that I want is not in the top 10. So I know you see Bryce Harper actually moved to plus 460. Let's find the Nationals game. Plus 630. Josh Bell is plus 600. So again, looks like they really prefer the Braves here. But again, I just think that obviously Mitchell Parker has probably given up a ton of home runs as well this season. Let's see. Is it Mitchell Parker versus righties? Maybe he's going to put a ton against lefties. Not really. He's given up like no home runs this season, so I don't particularly love that at all. Looks like Matt Olson might be a good look as well. But yeah, so we're going to go back to the spreadsheet. And our number 2 in this game is going to be Braves Nationals. We're going to go with Nathaniel Lau as our number 2. This was again plus 630. Oops. We're going to add that to the bet tracker. I'm going to go with Josh Bell here. Was that right? Plus 630 and plus 600. Okay. Okay, we found two dingers that we like so far. Let's keep looking. All right, next up, what have we got? So I think we have to pick one in this game. Again, optimal humidity, optimal pressure, home runs are up. It's kind of tough to not look at that and be like, maybe it's worth looking at. So right away we see definitely going to be a lefty that we're going to be looking at. Significant advantage here. Again, wind blowing in, a little bit odd, but again, it seems like it's being, it is Great American Ballpark. If you look at the StatCast here, Great American Ballpark number 2 for home runs from 2023 to 2025 versus right-handed hitters versus lefties, number 1. So definitely optimal both in weather and in hitting. So we look at right away, we have, this is the only reason I don't love this game, is the hitters are kind of mid. Obviously, we got Davis Martin, Lodolo. Lodolo is not really known to be much of a home run guy for these games. He's getting up 2, 1, 1. Honestly, kind of getting up more than usual. But if you look at who he's been giving up, they're all to righties, which is not particularly something that we're looking at. We're kind of looking for someone that's giving up a ton to lefties. If you look at his data since 2023, he's only given up 1 home run to lefties. So he's going to probably completely crush them. 1.9 at home, 2.3 at home. A ton of righties. So again, sometimes you can find specific data on specific hitters. For example, if I go here, you can go to opposites. So these are like an opposition hitter is like a righty that might hit the ball not pulled, right? So they might hit it into right field instead of left field. Sometimes you can find maybe a specific hitter in this game that maybe would look good. We got Sosa, Lennon Sosa. That being said, is he pulling it for opposition for home runs? Still, his only 2 home runs are still pulled. Doesn't particularly give us much to work with there. We're still looking for someone that's going to be hitting the ball into right field. So right away, let's see. Davis Martin, how's he been doing in terms of home runs? Given up, let's see, 5 and 5. Definitely, like, he's seen 40 fewer batters and 3 home runs. So definitely gives up a ton of home runs to lefties. So we're going to look at hitters here. We know that we're going to be picking a Reds team, so we can actually add home run versus righties just to see who's hitting well in this ballpark specifically. And we're looking at Cincinnati. So right away we got Ellie. Now Ellie is a bit of a wild card because he does strike out a lot. I've had a lot of problems betting him, but let's see if he has a decent matchup. We got better pitcher matchups. We're gonna go to the Reds game. We got Will Benson, Gavin Lux. So yeah, Ellie De Cruz slightly advantageous, a 9, but let's see where it is. Now he's decent against the slider four seam. Seems like he likes the cutter a little bit more, but that's still pretty solid numbers. Home runs only 0.2, plus 0.05. Let's see Will Benson, who's another lefty. Again, not great, but again he does pitch decently well against the four seam, which is something that this guy does throw a ton of. Again, Will Benson has a bit of a rough start, but again we're seeing A plus here. Home run data almost over 1% chance increase, which is pretty decent. It seems like he does have a good matchup. Again, it's hard to look at this number because he has barely pitched this year. Meatball, week challenge, medium break. Again, throws a lot of four seams. That's really the only problem that I see with Ellie De La Cruz here is that perhaps he's not a huge fan of the four seam. Not bad, but he seems like he prefers to hit the cutter. Home run. Extreme advantage for Ellie De Cruz. So, it might have to be Ellie here. Again, if we look at Ellie's spray charts, he's kind of all over the place. It seems like he doesn't really hit them where we want him to hit them, which is all the way out here. It looks like he has one that went crazy left, but what about last year? Again, he hits out of everywhere. Will Benson, again, he's been really mid this year. He's barely played at all. But last year he was elite, and he pulled quite a lot here. He had decent bat speed. His sweet spot was decent. Barrel was decent. Not a huge guy, but you could argue maybe he's due to really get some hits. We got Matt McClain. I'm assuming based on the weather, he's going to have a really great matchup. Not phenomenal here. I feel like it might have to be an Ellie De La Cruz day. Again, despite the fact that the weather is obviously beneficial to right field, it's still above average everywhere. Let's see what they have here for the Cincinnati game. Again, they got Matt McClain. That's it for the Reds. They really do not love this matchup here, but it has to be a lefty for me. Let's see. Andrew Vaughn, Gavin Lux. Not a big home run guy. Matt McClain, Will Benson. Again, he's also at the very end, so the odds that we get to him multiple times is low. TJ Friedel, how's he done this season? He had 2 home runs in 1 game, but that's basically everything for him. Any good matchups here? Again, I don't think they've seen this pitcher much, so we'd assume probably nothing. Yeah, so again, no significant edge there. I'm just going to go with Ellie De La Cruz. He hit one at the end of yesterday. Maybe he's going to be feeling pretty good. Davis Martin and the White Sox bullpen, not phenomenal. I think he'll have multiple chances. Let's look at Gavin Lux quickly. Yeah, he's only hit 1 home run. Sweet spot's good. Doesn't chase a ton, but he's just not a big home run guy. Part of me wants to try Will Benson again, and I think I will because I'm not that confident. This will be I'll put this as my 5th favorite for today, despite the weather. I think maybe Will Benson has another decent opportunity today. So we got Ellie De La Cruz at plus 440. We'll see what the odds are here. Will Benson at plus 500, only slightly worse than Ellie De La Cruz, so they must like something as well. So don't mind my shit show of a background. Who did we like? Yeah, that was Cincinnati. So at Cincinnati, we're going to go Ellie De La Cruz here at plus 440. And we're going to get Will Benson another shot here at plus 500. This will be my 5th favorite of the day. All right, cool. Let's keep on rolling. All right, next up, let's keep going into the par factors. What else do we like? Minnesota, Baltimore, some center field action going on there. Comerica Park, not terrible for polling action, but not phenomenal. Globe Life Field, we got left. And I think we have some bad pitchers in that game, so let's go to that one. We got Corbin and Sensatella. Now, these two guys are meatball machines. I think Sensatella's been giving up a ton of home runs. 3, 1, 2, 2. Obviously, quite a few of these are at home, but he gave 2 to the Dodgers, 3 versus the Reds, 1 against the Giants. He's been struggling big time, and it seems to be mostly versus righties, which is actually pretty interesting. Because obviously, what are we looking at for this game? Yeah, we definitely want to find someone that gives up to lefties. Patrick Corbin has been having a really good season. Hasn't given up too many home runs. That being said, historically, way more to righties as well. Especially last season, only gave up 2 to lefties. So I think it's going to have to be Sensatella. You could just argue maybe he's just, I don't know. I don't particularly love it, but yeah, let's see if there's any phenomenal matchups here for the lefties. So we're looking for Texas. We got Adolis Garcia again, a righty. Probably 4.6. So phenomenal. Doesn't like the 4-seam though, but he likes everything else. Adolis might end up getting there. He just has pure raw power. Ooh, Jonah Heim. Likes the change up. So let's just go into it a bit deeper. Jacob Stallings, Jake Berger, Jordan Beck, Adolis Garcia. Let's see where Adolis Garcia is hitting his home runs. Because if he might be someone that does. No, he's definitely someone that pulls it. Or last year. Yeah, definitely a puller. Don't hate it, but I really want to take advantage of this. Okay, Josh Smith. I don't really know enough about Josh Smith. Not starting Tuesday. Well, today is Wednesday. So maybe he's starting. Not a ton of home runs either. Don't love that. Let's see. Wyatt Langford. He's a righty, I know for a fact. Evan Carter. Jock Peterson. What about Jock? We had a 2-run home run in his last game. He definitely can hit home runs, that's for sure. 1, not a ton this season, but let's look at Jock. Let's see what his exit velocity is great, and he pulls it where we want. How did he do last season? Oh yeah, maybe Jock is back here. How is he in terms of matchup? We don't even get him here, which is not cool. But it does appear that he's going to be hitting in this game. It's not locked in. Jock Peterson. Sometimes it doesn't give you the matchups. You can just go in a matchup machine here and do it yourself. So we got Jock Peterson versus Sensatella. Oh, it's a really good matchup for him. +1.5. B+ versus the 4-seam. It's his best pitch. Okay, we're going to go with Jock Peterson for this game. We'll put this at my 4 because it is Jock Peterson. Hasn't pitched a lot this year. Let's see. Maybe we're going to get really good odds here. Plus 450. I do love that. So yeah, we're going to go looking for the Rangers game at Texas. We're going to go Jock Peterson at the 4. And we're going to get him at, what was it? Plus 450. And I'll say my runner-up was definitely going to be Adolis Garcia. I think he just has too much true raw power that the matchup maybe will let him get ahead there. But again, at plus 250, I don't love the odds. So we got Bryce Harper, Will Benson, Nathaniel Lau, and Jock Peterson so far. Let's keep looking. And let's find our number 3. Who knows? We might move stuff around later, but oh Jesus, I need to clean this up. Sometimes I just get lazy and start downloading everything onto my desktop. All right, beautiful. We love that for Jock. All right, let's keep looking. Sometimes I just like to look at if there's anything obscure. Obviously, you're always going to see like Shohei and Aaron Judge at the top. They love Adolis Garcia here today, actually. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber at plus 420. Cedric Mullins plus 630. Nothing really jumping out at me. Let's go park factors again. Is there any other games that are kind of jumping out? We got one in that game. Minnesota-Baltimore. I don't hate it, especially Oriole Park. Ooh, Milwaukee Progressive Field. Okay, we're gonna be looking for a lefty in this game. But let's see if there are any good pitching matchups here. Milwaukee. We got Logan Henderson and Gavin Williams. I think Gavin's been giving up a lot of home runs lately. Let's see, versus left-handed hitters. Let's see, is Gavin up here? 1.2 on this season. Oh. Pretty good last season, honestly. What about versus righties? Has he been... Oh, yeah, it seems like righties been his problem. And Logan Henderson, I don't know anything about him. How has he done in the minor leagues? He had one game, he gave up 1 home run in 6 innings pitched. 9 strikeouts, pretty good. Home run. He does seem to give up a decent amount of home runs. Versus lefties as well. In the minor leagues, he's only given up to righties, though. But the year before that, all to lefties. So I think it's situational. I do wonder if there's any data on Logan Pearson here. But let's see. We're looking for Cleveland. Oh, we have a few here. Oh, they don't love it, but pitch type. Stephen Kwan has a big advantage. Jose Ramirez as well. He won yesterday. Maybe he might be the option. Plus 1.4. Ooh, BB. He throws a lot of fast seams and changeups. Not a very diverse pitcher. And release point. Brings it up to 4.7. It's a terrible matchup for Logan Henderson. Big advantage for Ramirez. Again, throws a lot of fastballs. That might be a good look. Because it is Jose up against a righty. You'd assume he's going to be switching to his left. Let's see, Jose. Does he typically do better against lefties or righties? Definitely does better against righties on his left side. Sweet spot. His hard hit's pretty down. He doesn't strike out a ton. This probably was a lot better last year. Yeah, it still looks like he strikes out quite a lot, but again, he still is a home run machine. He has a good advantage here against Henderson. Let's see what home run zone. Did they have Jose up pretty high? Jose Ramirez, yeah. Again, I do like Kyle Manzardo as well. I picked him yesterday. Maybe he's due to hit a home run today, but it doesn't seem like he loves the four seam that much. So we're going to go with Jose here as our number 3. I think that's going to be a really good option for our number 5. We go Cleveland, Jose Ramirez as our 3. Again, it is Jose. You could assume we're not going to get amazing odds here. He's probably going to be number one. Plus 360. Same as Kyle Manzardo, which is kind of surprising. But we're going to put Kyle Manzardo as our number 2. Obviously, the other lefty that hits a lot of home runs. I think it was plus 360. For both of them. All right, so we got Bryce Harper, Nathaniel Lau, Jock Peterson, Will Benson, and Jose Ramirez as our 5 favorite to get home runs for today. I'll probably take a look at a few others. Again, once this video is up, you can check the description. I'll have all of these filled out for every game. Obviously ranked 1 to 15 as being my favorite of the day. But yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. We're going to run with these 5 for today, May 14th. And hopefully we get some dingers. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you like this format, if you think it's better if I edit. Yeah, again, just kind of messing around. I feel like this is so much easier for me because it's, I prefer it because I'm doing this anyway myself. So I'd rather just talk over it while I'm walking through my process instead of having to do all the, stuff and then have to record a video with all these graphics and stuff. Sometimes it does get a little bit rough when I do get busier. So I will be leaving on vacation in about a week today. So I won't be uploading at all for that week, obviously. But yeah, once I get back, I'm definitely going to be full mode grinding to YouTube content. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.